Aspiring Leader, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, Elizabeth Gensko. And we wanted to introduce ourselves and describe why we were excited to start this podcast and what will be entailed in the next several episodes. I come from a background of leadership. My father and my grandfather were in fire service leadership, both fire chiefs, and I've always really had a heart that enjoyed service to others. And I found that in the places that we can be and where we can grow, leadership really came down to understanding where effective leadership has been, so understanding the robust history of people who have been effective in the field, and then also the science that pairs underneath what creates effective leadership. And as I was talking together with my friend Liz, we just found that we were so excited and really interested in learning more about this collaboration together. And we thought, what better way to learn more than to start interviewing experts in the field? Liz, would you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Liz Gensko, and ever since I can remember, I have always been really interested in understanding leadership, because even though I have been somewhat of an introvert through most of my adult life at least, I always have found myself in leadership type roles and people kind of looking to me for decisions and support. So I always had to kind of navigate that and figure out, what does this mean to be someone that is, a little more quiet and reserved, but yet people are wanting to have me lead them in some particular way. And so that's how I found myself being really intrigued by leadership and what makes leaders successful. And also, I just have really enjoyed helping people, and I've been naturally very curious about what motivates other people and how they can also have an impact, a really positive impact on others. So that's why I really enjoy doing consulting work and working with other leaders and helping them do the same. So here I am. With Melissa. I have loved working with Melissa. We have been leadership consultants together, and now we are here with you guys, bringing you many leadership insights through this podcast. So we're really excited.
Now, Liz, when we were talking about the formation of this podcast and we started brainstorming, we were talking about some key insights in a lot of the books that we were reading and podcasts that we were listening to, and we noticed that there are a lot of books and podcasts on leadership that are written by one particular party or another, one being leadership experts, so people that have been in the trenches, who have been leading with grit and integrity and showing up in those ways, and then the other being those who have taken the time to study the art and the science of psychology in organizational work. And I love, you and I took some time to recognize that there's a beautiful pairing when both parts are integrated. And that's one of the main reasons why we really wanted to start this podcast and incorporate both in a very intentional way. So can you talk to us a little bit about the structure in which this podcast will be presented and when we're going to hear from these different types of leadership experts?
Yeah, so we, like you mentioned, this wonderful pairing of the science and the experience. We thought it would be wonderful to bring in some really special guests from both of these areas. So people that have, like we say, been in the trenches, who have solid experience, really in-depth experience leading other people, leading them through challenges. Sometimes, I don't want to say failing, but having a really hard time in their leadership and overcoming that. Some being just phenomenal leaders naturally, some learning difficult things along the way. Either way, these people that we have as guests on our show have been really amazing leaders. They have great experience to offer, a lot of insights. And then on the other side, of course, we have some wonderful people that we're going to be talking from the scientific community and psychology. So a lot of these people, they understand the science of leadership. What does this look like in how to truly be an effective leader? through research, and how do we combine these two things? So we're really excited to bring these two worlds together for a more robust kind of conversation, a more interesting conversation that helps people learn more skills that they can even apply today.
Absolutely. So we plan on interviewing one specialist in the area of organizational psychology, and then the next month we'll be interviewing someone that has boots on the ground and is leading a team effectively. So we're really looking forward to having a diverse background. We have a lot of incredible guests that are planned for this next season that we're really excited about. And today I think we really wanted to talk about the values behind why we want to present this podcast, not simply for the compilation of these different thought types, but also where we're coming from individually. So I am a mom of two. I've been married for a little over 13 years, and I noticed that leadership characteristics show up not only in the way that I lead effectively, in the way that I consult, but also in the way that I show up with my husband, the way that I show up with my children. It really covers all different facets. So when I look through and I determine, what are my values and how do I filter all the decisions that I have to make in this world, I filter it through two value sets that I really appreciated Brene Brown's thought on how to bring down your values to one or two, and to take those and to move them forward into your life every single day. And I don't know about you, Liz, but for me, my two values were faith and family. And if something or a decision or an action does not fit within one of those value sets, then I really have to think critically and determine, is this a right fit for me? And often it is not. So Liz, for you, what are some values that you hold for your own life walk?
So this is such a good question. For me, I would say that mine really come down to honesty. So honesty is really big for me, and in everything that I do, especially in parenting. So I also have a daughter she's almost 6 months old. She'll be 6 months old this coming week, which is really crazy to think about. As well as, through my relationship with my husband. And so we've been married since 2018, and we just had our anniversary. So we've been married for 3 years. And, again, honesty comes through in everything, in all my relationships. It's something I really, really value in how I treat other people. I would also say it's kind of a tie between love and curiosity. Those are two really important ones to me. So I know you said one or two. Honesty is definitely one. If I really had to pick the second, it's just really, really hard. But yeah, I would say curiosity and love, those two really get me through a lot. I would say curiosity is what drives everything that I do. Curiosity is why I've found myself where I am today throughout my career. Every choice that I've ever made, it's always because I've been so curious. That's how I found myself in the field of psychology to begin with. And then, of course, love. Love is kind of what ties everything together. It's what really actually drives purpose. So it's probably my primary value, to be honest. But yeah, I gave you three. Thank you so much for joining us on our first introductory episode. We cannot wait to have you on our next episode and listen in. We have a lot of really good stuff in our next interviews, so stay tuned. You can find out more information on our website, thehonoringleader.com. And thanks again.